Hello. I am sitting with Alexander Mickelthwate. He is our musical director for Bear Valley Music Festival. And we thought it would be fun today to just do a little bit of, you know, personality interview questions and see what he's been up to. So, how are you, Alexander?
I'm really well. I'm really well.
Are you done for the season now in Oklahoma and able to enjoy the holidays a bit?
Yeah, a little bit. So we had this crazy last 6 weeks with like, I don't know, 6 or 7 or 8 different concerts. And just last weekend we had our last Christmas concert and boom, I am done a little bit for the next, I guess, 4 weeks.
Awesome. That's a pretty good break.
Yeah.
Well, let's get right into it. I have designed a couple of questions for you. And just so you know, he didn't want to know anything about these questions. He's just going to answer. He doesn't know what I have prepared.
No idea. No idea what Ronell is going to ask me.
Okay, let's have some fun. Okay, if you could conduct any historical music event, what would it be?
Ooh, any historical musical event. That's a good one. Well, I would love to conduct like the world premiere of one of those moments, like Beethoven Fifth Symphony. You know, when Beethoven couldn't conduct really anymore, and they needed a guy, like, hey, pick me. So Beethoven Fifth Symphony, or like another one, big one is Rite of Spring, Stravinsky's Rite of Spring. It's this moment in 1913 in Paris that created the biggest music scandal in history. And they had a conductor, but in the pit for the ballet in Paris. And it was this big moment. Everybody knew it was a world premiere by Stravinsky. And as some of the listeners probably remember, it was this scandal because in the balconies, people started fist fights and they threw tomatoes to the and potatoes, like literally onto the stage. And but they continued with the performance. So that would have been pretty cool. Yes.
Either one of those. They sound pretty cool.
Yes.
I forgot what a great history teacher you are.
Oh.
You got all these little nuances about history. I love it. Okay, so my next question, how do you communicate musical ideas through body language?
Ooh, another one. Okay, great. Well, in this case, it is really both. It is body language, facial language, well, facial language, body language, but then a lot of it is simply the mood, the emotion around it. Sometimes one says you kind of somebody came into the room and the feel changed. Like, I mean, everyone's like looking at the, oh my God, it's exciting. Or like the feel change is like you kind of dour. It's like, what happened? Oh, somebody walked in. It's like all dour. So you kind of felt, the vibe. And I think those 2 or 3 are big with conductors. Um, in this case, if it's so we just did Shostakovich Fifth Symphony in Bear Valley, and then I did it in Oklahoma in September. Very emotional piece, and in this case, there are like those stretches that are extremely introverted, as people might remember, and then I feel I have become the music. I mean, that it's completely still. My gesture is kind of minimal, and it becomes this moment in space and time, emotionally and physically. And then there at the end of that symphony is like this grandiose, completely over the top celebration of something where it's like exploding and similar. So you kind of have those big gestures, but also the feel is well, he was making fun of communism in a way, but then also, anyway. So it's like this thing, it's over the top, but also really joyful, like a celebration of life. And we did this as I said, with the Oklahoma City Philharmonic in September, and it was a little similar. It was very, very intense. So it was like this stillness and then like over the top exuberance in the face, in this gesture, and but also in the being. So that's one answer.
Yeah, sitting in all those emotions. I mean, I'm sure our patrons understand that as well because they feel that when they're in the tent. And I felt that personally. So I know exactly what you're describing, and it's transcendental. It is amazing.
Thank you.
It is. Okay. What do you think is the importance of live music in modern society?
Yes, so that's also a big one because one can say, gosh, I just listen, I guess, in the car, which is great. Or I'm not sure how many people would sit down in their living room and then listen to a performance. Maybe that's what they do. I can't tell because it's my work.
Yeah.
I guess a couple of huge differences. One huge difference is if you sit in a comedy club, and I just went to a comedy club on Sunday evening, and everybody's laughing, and it's kind of this group feel. I mean, there's one comedian, you could listen to the guy at home alone, great, but there's this whole exhilarating, fun, like feel in the audience, and you kind of get swiped with it, like how do you say, like woof, and it's
Mhm.
just even more funny. And the same I feel when we do like when I again the Shostakovich, when 400 people together at the same time are completely quiet and concentrated and aware, we feel it on the stage. They feel it. It's again a group feel. And it becomes 400 times, I really believe this, 400 times more intense than when you have your own awareness, which is also beautiful. But together, man, it magnifies everything. So there's a real distinct difference if you listen to it as a group with lots of people or in a smaller group or alone, which is again still beautiful. And the other one is that on the stage, we hear it, we feel it, and then I'm more spontaneous and create in the moment. And I think that horizontal, like changing the tempo, changing it, the emotion in the moment, you also feel more in the auditorium, in the audience, as you would comparing it to a recording. And nothing wrong with the recordings, they're wonderful. But that immediacy, you feel the excitement of the musicians in that moment, and that again makes a huge difference. So yes, those two together, I don't know, there's day and night I feel between a live performance and a great recording.
Well, and that music brings us all together. It's that unity, right? It's that universal language,
Yeah, that's the thing. So whoever sits next to you, old, young, doesn't matter.
right?
Like everybody together just experiences it. And because it's very often without words, um, you can have your own meaning, your own feelings. But then again, as a group, again, like people completely different angles of their life coming together and hearing that and feeling it together. That's really powerful.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing. It really is. I could sit here and I could talk to you for another hour, but I'm going to wrap it up and I'm going to ask you, what do you hope the patrons of this next festival, our 57th season? So, what do you want the patrons to walk away from when they come out to the 10th this next festival season?
Well, I mean, it's always kind of this thing to really create memories in the moment that they're like, oh my gosh, that was amazing. That just um catapulted me to a different sphere or something where like that was really meaningful, that meant a lot to that person personally. And then looking back when one is back in at home, back at work, like then the following November, December, January, then we have still a bit the reverberance, the afterglow. Oh my gosh, that was really great. And maybe the person then listens to it in a recording, but is reminded, and it's inspiring again, gives a little bit hope. Um, like another little spiritual experience, maybe a healing. So there are a whole bunch of reasons I would love to have them go out with and to contribute to something positive in their personal lives.
I agree completely, 100%. Well, We will hope that you have a wonderful holiday season, Alexander. We can't wait to see you. We hope you make a trip out here again for the holidays.
Yes, I
See
will.
Bear Valley with all of its snow.
I want to ski again. That was really awesome last year.
Yeah,
Definitely.
I heard you had a good time. Yeah. They've got plenty of snow up there. So, do you have anything to say to our patrons on your exit?
Well, first of all, have a great Christmas, happy holidays, and I hope some calm time. Lots of people are very busy, but you just recharge and go into the next spring. And I can't wait to see everybody in summer, actually, or in March already. Can't wait to see you guys. You're my family, our family. I'm excited.
Thank you, Alexander, for your time.
Thank you. All
Happy
right.
holidays.
Happy holidays to you.